It has come to our attention that some people are dogshit at FSC. This source is my eyes. Therefore, we must put a stop to this. So to fix this, I will present to you the definitive guide for FSC, built from trial, error, and witnessing the most diabolical horseshit ever committed in Spiral Nights. This guide assumes you already know the basis of the strategies presented in these videos and just need fine-tuning and is for quads specifically. It will cover some advanced tactics, as well as some obvious as fuck ones that you should already know. But it's alright, because after this video, you will no longer be the creative equivalent of a participation trophy. Rather, you'll be on your way to something we call standards. Or you might still be dogshit. But at least you'll know why. Before we start, let's talk about a couple of things. The bare minimum you should aim for to run FSC efficiently should be at least full chaos, a fully leveled Drakon, Combustor, Arcana, Blitz Needle and Electron Vortex. Avoid mixers or any other vortex, and use trinkets to cover your needs. You do not need totems to run efficiently. There are plenty of players who run totemless. Obviously as well, try to work on your mechanics like switching. Like any other game you want to speedrun, you have to at least try. Now let's talk about wormhole. Wormholing is when a player leaves to the ready room using /RR and then rejoins the party. This can be helpful in a number of ways as it essentially allows players to teleport around the map. Wormholing has benefits such as giving you a period of invincibility when you rejoin, resetting sprite abilities, and of course, as mentioned before, the ability to teleport to the other side of the map. The last person listed in the party is the one you'll teleport to. That's the most recent person to join. So make sure the correct person has rejoined before you start your run. Now let's get started. We'll start in the infamous Boom Booms room in depth 24. Intent: hit the Boom Booms that are covering the buttons as fast as possible so that your teammates can advance. When shooting at Boom Booms, it's helpful to stand still or walk directly towards it. This ensures the two shots hit roughly the same spot and prevents ridiculous Arcana hitbox bullshit. As a noob, you might find yourself dying a lot. To not be shit, here are some tips to prevent that. Sonicking. What is sonicking? Sometimes when you take a hit that should kill you, you survive on 1 pip. When you sonic depends on what hit you and what your max HP is. You sonic if the following conditions are all true. You have more than 1 bar of health, and the amount of damage you are about to take is greater than 25% of your max HP. Damage taken through a broken shield can bypass sonics. You should take time to learn what you can and cannot sonic with different Vita pods, because everyone has different trinkets. Let's go back to our Boom Booms. Please note that you have a shield, so use it. If your health is above a certain point, you can walk into a Boom Boom and tank most of the hit. This will allow you to have enough health to sonic your next hit. This is more applicable to totem users, however there is a trick to get through spikes without taking damage. You do this by walking through the corner while holding up your shield. As soon as your shield takes damage, you can drop it and walk through. This method is very consistent once you get the hang of it. If you die early, get ready to leave and rejoin immediately. Don't be goofy and wait until you've respawned to fiddle around with your fucking controls and then typo /RR
Stupid.
or miss the ready room button. Now we're at the walk-up. If you're struggling to hit the wheels at the top, consider going to a wider angle as this makes it drastically easier to hit the wheel. Remember, it takes 3 shots on quads and the first shot will always be tanked by the slag. Remember, I will not be explaining arenas in detail as this has already been done by Ari Ave. The purpose of this video is refining what you already know. If you are top and the EV is placed, you should hold your brandish for a split second to let the slags get sucked back in by the EV to get the maximum damage. People have released early too many times, leaving a straggler, which will mess up the EV timing for the 2 players at the bottom. When the second wave spawns, the combo to kill your turret is 3-2-1. Without a Drakon boost, it is 4-2-1. For the bottom players, use the screws on the party button as your indicator of where to place your EV. And pay close attention to how you loot as the bottom roll. You have leeway to loot upwards after you kill your turret, so use that time to get your loot, swoop down and around. This is called efficiency. Before we even start, here's a tip. When starting the convo with the sprite, stop moving your mouse and just hold down the spacebar. This results in the fucking dialogue being spammed through. If two people load at roughly the same time, the one with lower ping should talk to the sprite since the speed of dialogue skipping is dependent on ping. Now let's get started. This is one of the toughest levels to master, as it features 6 distinct rooms, each with its own unique mechanics and strategies that you need to learn to complete them efficiently. For this level, we will go over each room individually, starting with Whale Room. The intent here is to kill the Trojan immediately, then group all the slags. Here you can use the slag on the left to boost the charge of your EV. If you take damage on the start of your charge, it will boost your charge to 50%. This is consistent and can be practiced. Use 2 EVs here, as it's safer and more consistent. Once you drop 2 EVs, you should charge into the EV you dropped first because of common fucking sense. Please do not stop doing this throughout the entirety of your Spiral Knight's career. Remember to prioritize the jellies first, then clean up the remaining slags. Once cleared, leave the sprite up top and go straight to Rocket Room. Here is the full clear, uninterrupted. Rocket Room. Intent: wipe all quadrants and don't fuck it up. You should insta-wipe the first quadrant by killing the slags all from this corner. This angle shown here is only available if your ping is above 110. If your ping is too low, easily setting up a lag switch to a hotkey will allow you to kill all 3 slags. You can release your charge as soon as the slag starts raising its second arm. For the second quadrant, you want to charge them into a corner and get as many hits with brandish off as you can before backing off. This is an important moment, and fucking this up will 90% of the time fuck the rest of the room up, which then will fuck the run up. So lock in. Timing varies depending on when the puppy aggroes, but it's better to play it safe. Back off to make the puppy look left, and then dash towards the slags and finish them, or push them into the next quadrant. Note: be careful when going into the next quadrant, as slags in the next one can try to jump. If you have health, you can enter and body block them, or else you can just wait. I'd advise against charging into the ghost block and letting the charge hit slags. Just break the ghost block and charge the slags into a corner. If you are comboing and a slag gets pushed out by your hits, go back, push them in, and then continue comboing. This is worth it. You're getting much better DPS when you're hitting multiple slags in one go. If you are skilled enough, you can shoot the ghost block here, then get into a brandish charge, release it, then charge again to get boosted by the block respawn. This will make your 4th quadrant clear a lot more efficient. Here is the full clear, uninterrupted. Now we're at Mario Room. If you have a voltage, you should be doing this room. Intent, group slags in each wave and wipe them. Main challenge is not letting them get out of the EVs, whether through explosions or brandish charges. This room requires the most adaptability and has the most RNG compared to every other room. So lock the fuck in. Your clear may change depending on the rotation you have for the spinning trap. But again, lock the fuck in. For wave 1, use the following EV placement and standing spot to lock slags in a 2x3 formation. This is to maximize DPS since your charge will hit them all at once. From there, you can charge and combo or do 2 charges and combos. The wall prevents them from getting too far, so this should be an easy clear. Do not be a fucking baboon and drop an EV before wave 1 ends. The EV will start too early and will leave slags hanging on the sides, fucking the run. You can pick between dropping 1 or 2 EVs here. 1 is quicker, but do 2 for safety. Always drop 1 if you pick up a strength. If you're dropping 1 EV, get out and charge and let the slags get sucked in. For 2 EVs, you can clear right away. Aim for 2 charges, then clean up the remaining slags. For the last wave, I don't recommend trying to insta-charge the Trojan. Most of the time, you're just praying the Trojan does the power-up buff attack. If he turns on you, you're fucked. Make sure when you are charging into your EV, aim for a wall or the switch so you aren't blowing them into the fucking stratosphere. Once cleared, grab your sprite and go. Here is the full clear, uninterrupted. Now we'll move to left and start with Spike Room. This room is simple and hard to fuck up. The only time where you could mess up is if you somehow missed the Trojan because of his dash, in which case, install Aim Labs. Do not boost from the button, you will use it in the room. Blitz the slags down here to aggro them, then use your Draken 3. Bait the Trojan in a corner in case he dashes so you can catch him. Note the slag here, you will most likely take damage, so pay attention. Afterwards, drop EV, and then bait the slags to walk into it. Either charge plus combos or do 2 charges and clean up. Comboing is faster, but just adapt to your HP at this time. Make sure you hit upwards so the loot ends up at the top. Your teammates will appreciate this. Take the sprite and leave it outside the room and head up to the next room. Here is the full clear, uninterrupted. Now we're going to move on to top left, then explain Trojan Room as it is supposed to be done as a duo. Intent, clear the turrets and slags as fast as you can. Leave the Oilers alive as they will be cleared in mid. This room requires some adaptation as the clear changes depending on if you picked up a barrier beforehand. We will show both ways. Without a barrier, the goal of the room would be to charge the 3 slags into the middle, typically leaving them with low HP. You will clean them up to end. A quick tip with a barrier here is to use the orbs to break the block, so you can have better pathing to the second section. Also, aim upwards here to kill the first slag. Note that when charging here, to leave some space between you and the turret so you can kill it in one combo. Alternatively here, you can charge the slag into the upper right corner and aim to kill it. Try to have efficient pathing. Sometimes the oilers will block your path, which will slow the room down. Once you kill the last turret, do another charge to finish the zombies and clean up, then leave. Here is the full clear, uninterrupted. We're now at Trojan Room. This room requires 2 of you. Whoever did top left should typically be first, so they can use their Draken boost here and charge to kill the 3 slimes. Then kill their Trojan, then slags. Spike Room Clearer will come from behind and should focus on the right side Trojan and kill their 2 slags ASAP. I will explain one side at a time. Once you kill the jellies here, note that the Trojan here will most likely dash at you. Try to make him dash into the 2 slags and catch him from there. If the Trojan blasts your slags to the stratosphere, try to bump them together and blitz them. By the time you kill the Trojan, your teammate should be on your side to help. For whoever is on the right side, don't be late like this baboon here. If you are on time, you should be able to run into this corner, bait the Trojan to attack, then get a double kill for a more efficient clear here. But remember, the same philosophy applies here. Kill Trojan, then your slags. If your slags get blasted, bait or bump them together and blitz them down. After, go support your teammate if they need it. Then loot. Now note that whoever is looting first should be the one to wormhole onto the other side. Once the wormholer loots left, they will TP to whoever was doing top right, and if on time, will go on to loot the top and touch the sprite to spawn the slags. Then wormhole again to the bottom right room. Then once more to get to the middle. While all this is happening, everyone should be making their way to mid. Whoever is mid first, typically the person running from left, should help center all the slags. Once the wormhole has TP'd to the middle, everyone should fuck off to loot their sides. The wormholer has the pressure of clearing mid before everyone gets back. Try to place 2 EVs at a time and use your Draken 3 when you can. If you are a bit slow, keep track of when your teammates are coming back and place a last EV so they can support. Now I'll go over an alternative strategy that happens when left shits the bed but top right locks the fuck in. We call it modified, which means everybody prioritize looting, then come back to mid to clear the slags. Because top right is fast and normally the anchor for wormhole, it means the wormholer can't TP to each room on right like normally, so they must walk. Whoever is coming from left should fuck off right away. And get ready to wormhole to right side once they put the sprite back. Go down, then wormhole back up, and then once again to the middle. Everyone then comes to mid to help clear. Now, here's a quick tip for the first people back. Grab the fucking water, you baboon. Remember again that I will not be explaining each role individually, as this has been shown and illustrated by Ariave. You can also watch Galaxy Gas and Ozempic runs to get a general idea of the roles first, then come here. Let's start with waters. A quick tip here is that you can get the bottom left statue in one water consistently by not breaking the top left box and walking up and into it, then going straight left and facing directly left. Note that you can throw much earlier than you think. If you are grabbing second water here, you should use your boost as soon as you hear the water splash from the first guy throwing it. Of course, adjust to your ping accordingly. Now is also a nice time to mention that vials can collide with waters. So if you're mindlessly throwing vials and one hits a water, or the explosion hits the water, congratulations, you just trolled the run, so be careful. Remember, we want to spawn all the waves as soon as possible. However, we don't need all 4 people to do that. For each wave, 2 to 3 people are wiping it, while everyone else is damaging or repositioning slags to better set up the wipe at the end. Because this room looks complicated, I will explain what each role is called and what they do for this arena. Combustor 1 will charge at an angle here to push the slags into the corner for them to be blitzed to spawn the second wave of slags. Be careful not to shield the slag here, as it will fuck the spawns of the later waves. This is an important moment, so again, lock the fuck in. They will then do a blitz charge to an EV, then clear. Blitz roll will blitz here and not fucking miss. If this roll is messed up, it ruins the entire rhythm of the arena, aka it fucks the run. So lock in for this too. After blitzing, they will do one normal shot for support here, to a charge to kill the Trojan. After, they will typically help manage the stragglers and clear. Combustor 2 will walk through here and charge up to line up with C3, which we will talk about next. Make sure you get all the slags on your charge. After, you will Draken boost, walk over and charge the 3 slags at this angle to spawn the last wave. After, you should place an EV here and help clear where it suits best. Combustor 3 will catch the slags from C2, then typically place 2 EVs. You can do a second combustor charge if it suits before placing your EVs. Again, you should lock in here as it is the most slag heavy. To the people who are blitzing, stand here, always. You are never going to not stand here. Stop not standing here. The slag needs to land in this corner and all you need to do is shoot in between them. And stop shooting so early. If you hear tinking and a slag is left on 1 HP, you are a cactus. Also, remember if you are C1 and you are about to release your blitz charge, try to aim a little more to the left. This is because C2 is already slapping the shit out of the right-sided slags. There have been too many times where slags have been able to tank C2 because of this. For C3, note that this role needs adaptation. Typically you should place 2 EVs, but you can get away with placing only 1 EV if the slags are positioned well, or if you picked up an early strength. Here is the clear from Galaxy Gas. Warthog Run, Intent. Fastest players who can survive go up, the rest should die as quickly as they can for the next arena to kill the puppies in key room fast. Here is when you should die. If you're dying, you should try to get up to the first block of fire as soon as you can, so you can die when the guy going up passes these checkpoints, rather than waiting for the next spike rotation. This is also a perfect time to start dumping your vials. When going up, you get hit around 4 times on average. If you're going up and it's going to be close, you can tank the last hit with your shield to prevent death. Don't get fired if you're going to do this, as you won't really have time to heal it off, and you'll presumably be one hit. Now we're at Key Room. Intent. Spawn all slags, then group and kill. Try to get them all vortexed into the middle so everyone can damage them together. If you survive and have the health to, go to the top. If you are dead, you can hold your attack button down to immediately start charging upon respawn. Please do this to kill the puppy on time. Now, the obvious way to charge a brandish is to hold the attack button down. This results in the knight swinging once and then holding for a charge. But here's the trick, the swing isn't actually necessary. Charging has 2 parts. First, an internal cooldown starts the moment you press attack. Second, the actual charge animation happens after that cooldown ends. Normally, the swing hides that first part. But if you shield and then hold attack, your knight won't swing, but the cooldown still starts. Once you unshield, you just need any animation to kick off the charge. You can also trigger it by throwing a vial, taking damage, using a sprite ability, even while dead. If you don't start charging after an animation, it means you didn't hold attack long enough. Just shield again real quick and boom. you've got a charge. Now back to key room. After spawning Trojan, people on the sides should drop their EVs in this formation. Afterwards, stand above and bait bottom slags to walk up. Once they're in, you're free to charge and combo them all. Whoever grabs key, put it in a sensible place, typically around here, and help whoever needs the most help, or just go ham from the bottom up. Keep in mind that top may need assistance, as it is often the person who survived Warthog Run and is low HP. And when cleaning up slags, please consider hitting them together. Do I need to explain why?
What the hell?
Now we're at last arena. I will go over the rotate strat. Intention: the goal is to clear the waves until we get loot overload, which causes perfect spawns. From there, we can bump and rotate. On wave 1, catchers need to release their charge roughly the same time you see top release charges on your screen. Adapt to your ping. Pay attention to the flow of the top, as typically the pushdown is a bit left biased, so the catcher on the right abandons their post and lets a slag get through occasionally. If there's a fucking slag alive, fucking help out. Stop sitting there with your yee ass costume, holding a blitz charge like it's your 401k. The next wave will be immune for a moment, and somebody else is not going to be ready, so help the fuck out, grrr. Remember for rotate strategy that the rotation typically begins on wave 4, but pay attention to whoever is bumping first. If they are charging up their blitz and looting around, then you'll know to rotate. It happens occasionally, so I'll bring it up. Make sure you're not blocking the bumped slag from getting into its position. Oh, and the best way to kill two slags right next to each other is to aim in the middle, you fucking baboon. We're now at the last depth before the boss, but stay locked in. Remember to boost for the water here and after. Use the water sound as an indicator to activate your boost. Intent: kill the Trojan and turrets, place 2 EVs, then push slags up for an instant wipe. If you're bottom, make sure you support the top rolls by shooting the middle turret twice, because you have more time than them. Pre-loot the Trojan and switch sides, then push up. People on top, work on your switching and aim to get in position on time, please. Most of the time your EVs should be placed top and bottom. Once placed, top rolls should aim to fuck off earlier to loot the bottom. You should do 1 charge and combo and leave. However, if everyone is locked in, you can probably do 1 charge, then fuck off. Once slags are in, it should be 1 charge, 1 combo max, then leave. For Wolveroom, the intent here is to minimize totem moves and try to prioritize annoying enemies like wolves. To make it smooth, we want to make sure totems are getting out of the way efficiently. A very important strategy in this arena is the wall strat. It is done at the end of the first wave. It is important to spread out to prevent jellies from exploding around you, while also being close enough that they don't explode past you. Also remember to finish the mission. Continue pushing after EVs explode. You're not done until they're in the bottom left. This has many benefits. Slime loot is on the left, making the next wave's spawns really nice. Jelly bombs don't get up to where the Trojans are and mess with whoever is getting double. The EV for the second wave should be here, and placed when the jelly is 1 second away from exploding. And if you are the totem grabber, don't block slags when they are getting pushed when bringing totem from right to left. You know who you are. If you are in charge of wolvers, angle your blitz in a way to damage or kill 2 of the wolvers that spawn. Also, don't fucking go straight down to the turrets right away without even helping out top. This isn't a fucking dick-stroking contest. You know who you are, you baboon cactus dumbass. Here we are in water run. The intent? Go up, you baboon. If you are watering second, don't fucking splash the rightmost slag. The aggro prevents the triple. Can everyone please pay attention to who is going to die if there's no statue? If the person who normally dies is grabbing water, someone else needs to step up and die. Note to pay attention to the rotation of the spikes. There is a special rotation where a water carrier gets stuck at the bottom-most fire trap. This means that regardless of what they do, the final fire trap will perfectly stop them, resulting in a 4 to 5 second time loss. This is where escort strat comes in. The person with the water can just beeline it and walk into the fire. Another player will escort them by walking into the fire a split second before the water carrier does. Iframing the water carrier. The water carrier should keep walking, as this is what the escorter will use to time their escort. Note that the escorter has to adapt to the waterer's ping. Now we are on the last arena. The intent here is to rotate one person to where the bulk of the slags are and try to utilize the guy at the top, killing Trojans as much as possible. Guy on the left should be killing puppies before charging. You have time to kill both. 2 sword swings for left, 4 shots for right. Alternatively, you can charge then shoot. After, line up here for an easy triple kill. Right side, place your EV in this corner. The top roll needs to be able to assist as much as they can. For right side second wave, you want to triple blitz the slags. The best way to do this is to drop an EV. Let top push any slags that spawn too high into it, and then triple them. To triple them, you can go off of feel, shift your knight around in the slags until you feel yourself in the crevice, then release straight into the third slag. Do not aim towards the Trojan statues. If you break them, you fucked the run. Also note that you want a boost for all the waves here. Top should boost before they double kill. If you are left side, try to get all the slags in the EV, then position yourselves opposite of each other, similarly to the first wave. Don't get too jolly, time your brandish charges for the most DPS. If this is done well, top shouldn't overhelp. For the last wave, if you are the first EV at top, always put it at the goddamn crevice between the Trojans. Top can't waste their time pushing the slags into the EV. Remember to multitask too. You can loot and deal damage still. This should be applied at all times, but don't be useless and pre-loot the entirety of the time doing fuck all. You know who you are. We're now near the end, the boss. The easiest part of the run, but lock in so you don't fuck this up. Phase 1. In quads, do not use shock barriers. It slows down his turnaround and wastes time. Make sure for your second blitz, you are north of Varna for his turnaround. Typically, the fastest loader does boost on first mask. Look up, wait a split second, then boost. Otherwise it goes downwards and may get cancelled by his fat ass. Whoever is watering, get close and start hacking at it with your brandish. Charging up blitz wastes time in quads. Everyone else, ignore your barriers for this phase and post the fuck up and profire from this spot. Phase 3. Whoever is boosting, wait for Vanna's mace to slam the ground before using it. When clipping into Vanna, aim to stand on his top half to minimize him dashing. To perfectly profire here, Vanna will move his mace down, then up, then down. A split second after it starts going down the second time, you want to shoot. Adjust accordingly for your ping. Mask 2 booster, fuck off out of Vanna after your first charge, then boost. Phase 4. Same as before, boost, post the fuck up, water, kill. This time, use barriers if you can. Do not profire if you have a barrier. Wait for water to hit, step in, get barrier damage, then shoot. Remember now to shield bash all the slags away from the middle so they don't fuck with you. Please do this every phase. Phase 5. Repeat Phase 3 timing and positioning. Thank you to Redacted, and Redacted for the scripting and editing for this video, and also to Redacted, and Gas Station Drug Dealer for being a part of the runs. And also Ari Ave, thank you King. And there we have it. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You now know enough to not be arse anymore. Apply the strats in your FSC runs, get your timings tight, stop pre-looting, and maybe you'll go from shit to not as shit. But lock in King, because you got this.